have an availability for the members of the press. So there's no limits on what we can talk about. It would be completely up to you and any questions that you have. Yeah, actually, I guess the best way to put it is that, as mayor, I have the ability to pick our department's head and our business administrator. And I just thought it was, important that we start steering the ship in Hamilton Township in a new direction. So, as prerogative of the mayor, John, the services were no longer required.
What's the old direction that you're steering away from?
The old direction? Well, we just went through probably about 9 months in Hamilton Township of investigations that culminated in a conviction of our mayor, which through I guess a quirk in the law or whatever, but I find myself as mayor and council president. In light of all that has happened, even though my term is 30 days, I would think that if I walked out of that mayor's office and Maria felt that after 30 days I was sitting in our office playing Xbox, there would be a little disappointment. And so I felt that the change that the residents are seeking, basically demanding, would start here under me. And I believe that the tone is set at the top. And by making this change, I think we're starting to let the residents know that change can happen in Hamilton Township.
Are you anticipating any other changes or any other firings or resignations in the near future?
I don't anticipate any firings other than that what might be at this point. Normal course of action. Certainly we have personnel issues every day. Resignations, that would be up to the individual employees and directors to determine if they want to submit a resignation. I don't know.
Put it another way, have you asked for any other resignations from
No.
the department?
No, I haven't.
Is this going to be, however, some house cleaning, as any new mayor might call it?
Whatever term you want to come up with is okay by me. I don't control the media. I learned a long time ago you don't find someone who buys ink by the barrel. But, I just think that, as I said, the tone's set at the top. Certainly the question of open and transparent government was cast over Hamilton Township. There was, the trial was, while devastating for the mayor, I feel was devastating for the employees. Yet the employees, we politicians come and go. The employees, the ones down in the engine room, they've kept this township going. They should be applauded. So as far as like a house cleaning, what I would do is just kind of steer towards the fact that as mayor, I find myself in the position to be able to start to steer the ship, to try to get the confidence back, of the residents. This government was not about one person, whether it's John Benjamingo or John Ricci. Certainly, John Barrett is uniquely qualified and is up to the job and has indicated such to me. And so, we have personnel in place to start some change, and that's what we're doing.
Being mayor until the special election next fall?
I probably will be in a position to announce that tomorrow.
names to the council.
Yes.
Considering everything that's just happened in the community and all, don't you think it's a rather bold move to make, letting your top business administrator go at this point in time, knowing that in anywhere from a week to 30 days, you could be out as mayor? And, you know, we've let somebody go and he can appeal to the council, I guess.
Some may consider it bold. I'm hearing other terms out there. I actually see it as, you know, a course of action that the mayor can take. I don't think the residents want me to wait 30 days. And I don't think the residents want me to not do anything over 30 days. You know, really, some change started the week the mayor was on trial. You know, so we're down two administrators, two directors, so to speak, that were here from the beginning. But, you know, is it a risk? Some people might say so. Was it easy? Absolutely not. John's a personal friend. I was just judging the robotics contest with John a week ago over at Steinert. You know, and I hope this doesn't do something to our friendship. I know John, as business administrator, made tough decisions. But if you're resolute in what you're doing and you believe what you're doing is correct, you do it, and then you know, you deal with whatever you have to deal with. So I didn't look at it as saying I need to do a bold move. I looked at it as that you know, we have to gain the confidence back of the residents. We have to show the employees that you know, we're capable of getting through this, because they've done that for us. And I believe that some change, as I said, the tone is set from the top. If I came in and, you know, walked out of here after 30 days, you know, what good does that do to anybody? I can tell you right now, we are swearing in Mr. Barrett as our acting business administrator. Retired Sergeant Anthony Recine has been sworn in as our acting public safety director. You may not know it, but even though I wear two hats as council president and mayor right now, the mayor was wearing the hat as the public safety director, and we've had many people, Peggy Nickel, say hi Peggy, hi, come before us, Dan Keelan. Mind you, these are residents who attend a lot of the council meetings, and Dan has brought up issues with regard to crime. There's only so much I can do, and so I thought that by making Sergeant Racine, who works in our Hampstead office, the acting public safety director, he could take some of the duties and then we could begin to address. Actually, Connie and Dan ran against our slate, you know, back in 2011, and I've reached out to them and asked them if they would be gracious enough to sit with me, to Neil McCoy also, and I'll give them an opportunity to tell me everything that's wrong with Hamilton Township. And after Dan's done for about 3 hours, I'll give him the opportunity to tell me where are the solutions. You know, I consider myself personal friends with Connie and Dan, and we ran against each other, and just like they do in football, you beat the crap out of each other, and then you go to a pub and have a beer on their face. But I had to advise each and every one that I was letting John Ricci go, which was very difficult, you know, for them, for me. But one of the questions I asked, and you know, John was with me, was, you know, do you want to work with me? Can you work with me? And so far, no one has said no. Mike?
I have a couple questions, Kevin. They probably depend upon your answers.
Sure.
But first one, I guess, is did you advise the council of your decision before it was let out, or not?
I would say that it got out before, you know, our letter to council got out.
And I guess, and it's been a while since I've done the administrative code here, but aren't department heads appointed with the advice and consent of council?
They're appointed. Yes, they're appointed, but they serve at the pleasure of the mayor.
So you're
As
saying,
John Ricci had indicated last week upon the letting go of Kathy Tremontana, that as acting mayor, they serve at the pleasure.
I'm not referring to John Ricci in this case. I'm
Okay.
referring to your appointments as actings.
Acting,
Yeah.
if it's a permanent director, that resolution would go in front of council. While I intend to make changes, as you can see, I'm asking an existing employee to step up, such as I did with Sergeant Ricine, such as I'm doing with John Barrett. I don't have any intentions of sending any permanent resolutions to council, but I'll confer with the council president on that. It's pretty good. I was waiting,
Yeah.
Mike, come on.
And I guess the other question is, you've appointed Sergeant Racine to the Director of Public Safety. Is there even acting director? Sorry.
Yeah, there is a position of public safety director in Hamilton Township. But the code says that if the mayor doesn't appoint that position, they assume the duties. So for the 3 previous mayors, they were actually acting public safety directors.
Down in court, but what, in a nutshell, what did he do to get knocked out by you?
I don't think you have to do or not do anything. You know, it is under the powers and duties of the mayor to select the directors that will work for him. And as I said before, I think we needed to start some change. So I don't want it to be a reflection, so to speak, on John's character. As I said, I hope we're able to maintain our personal relationship. As John said in the Trenton Times article with the release of Kathy Tremontana, you know, it's purely up to the mayor to choose people who were served in these director and business administrator capacities, and I've made my choice, and I'm proud of it.
But why? Why did you have to make this move? And what does Kathy Tremontana have to do with it?
No, I'm just saying that in that article, Mr. Ricci indicated the powers and duties of the mayor. Her happenstance, her issue has no bearing on this. It's just that, it was a decision I made. As I said, look, as I said before, Hamilton Township, we're at this point where we have the ability to change the course of politics, the course of government. People are looking at us probably with the sense that there's many things wrong with this township. The tone starts at the top, and I believe as the mayor, as I said, whether I'm here for 7 days, 30 days, or a year, that I need to set the tone that changes will happen, that change can happen, and I stand by my decision. Well, what those allegations have done, I guess they darkened the cloud that was over Hamilton Township, and I'm fully aware of that, and that's part of why I have a belief that we have to steer a different course. And all I can say is that later in the week, I'll have another major announcement.